Want to see a magic trick? Ta-da! So this is the remote I got with my brand new LG TV, the Magic Remote. And if you're looking at it at first, you're probably thinking, oh, it looks fine to me. It's just like a remote. And most of it probably is fine, except for this little spot here. This is where all the magic happens. Okay? So that is the OK button, right? But you see, it's also like a little scroll wheel. I mean, seriously, it looks just like a freaking like mouse scroll wheel. Like, look at the similarities, right? So, what this does is that whenever you use the scroll wheel, you move it any notches, it makes a pointer appear on the screen. And then you can push this down because it's also the OK button. So, you can make the pointer appear, you can use it to scroll through menus and stuff, and then you can use that to confirm things. It's kind of like a Wii remote almost, right? Like, oh yeah, you just point at things. It's neat. It's actually not a bad idea. I don't mind that. The problem is, this is the only OK button, is this thing here. And so, a lot of times, basically 90% of the time when I go to hit OK, I end up triggering that pointer to show up. Which, if I'm just using the directions, I'm not really wanting to do that. And it's kind of sunken in and it's hard to hit anyway a little bit. But, like, yeah, it brings that up, and then I end up hitting something I don't want to hit because it moves the cursor shows up, moves somewhere I don't want it to be, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm clicking on something I don't want to click on. Or if I'm lucky, just not clicking on anything at all and having to do it again. I have to be very, very deliberate to push it in just this and not make it move any notches. So it sucks. It's a big pile of crap, and I hate it. To give you an idea of how bad this was, I mean, like, I hate touchscreens more than the next guy. Absolutely more. I downloaded an app on my phone, the LG ThinQ app, okay? I got this. So I get this stupid freaking remote thing. And like, oh, look, I can control my TV with this. And you go, I usually would just go like this, and then click this thing down here. Oops, if I can touch it. Well, I can't right now because it's not connected to my TV because my TV's in the other room. But I just use the controls that are around here or whatever, and it's like, I would use that. And, maybe I click it out. Maybe I found it. Hey, right? Arrows, push thing, right? Got volume, home, and all these things. All the things I really need to use for my TV right here, right? That's really all I need are those. Okay? So, yeah. So I had this app that I've been using, for this, because I figure, like, well, it's going to be better than trying to use this until I find a solution to it, right? Okay, so there's that. And, like, I mean, look, I did complain about this remote, the one I had for my Samsung TV at first. But again, this has all the stuff I needed. Basically the same kind of stuff I was looking at on that other app thing, right? You got the arrow thing, you got the OK button, that's just an OK button. And you got, I don't know, back, power, home, volume. That's really all I use. I don't even use these on purpose. It's like, I don't know, it says everything I want, and whatever. So, made me retroactively appreciate that remote. My other option I was thinking was, well, I have, like, the ability, I suppose, to just control everything through some kind of, like, third, like, well, not third party, but whatever, some kind of other device, and have it be like that when that's the thing I play my stuff on. Just have my TV be like a monitor, and just use YouTube and other stuff. Because mostly what I use YouTube. Sometimes I use Prime Video. Someday I might try Netflix again, maybe. So like, what am I really going to do here? Well, mainly what I'm doing is like that, and I can just play games and stuff. So I just do it through a game console, like my Xbox. I got this remote for my Xbox. Well, I got it for my Xbox One, and that busted. So it's not for my Series X, but still, I mean, I could use this. It's got the directional things to move around, whatever. I've got these things for playing playback for video content and stuff. And then, if I really need to, go to the different apps and control them that way. It's probably pretty easy to do YouTube and Prime Video and that kind of stuff through this. So I have that option. But the thing is, I would really like to be able to also just play these apps off my TV without having to run it through a thing. And then also, if I want to do other stuff like switching inputs and other things, I still probably would have to do with this remote anyway. For power, I'd probably still have to use maybe this remote, maybe. There's just a few things, and like settings and all that. There's a few things that I just don't think something like this would cover. So what I did was I went online and I ordered a remote, and there were a lot of choices. I could have got a universal remote, but a lot of those seem kind of sketchy and like difficult to maybe figure out how to work properly. So I just went ahead and I got myself an older LG remote. Just another freaking LG thing, and you know, it's obviously geared more towards doing TV with all these buttons up here. It's got a few of these things though down here. You can click for the hotkeys, but yeah, in general, like I don't know. Like looking at these, they're pretty similar in a lot of ways, except for that's your OK button. It still has the home button in a nice place. It's got the back button here. Settings is way up in here, but it's got that and power and these arrows. I have to sometimes look and figure out where these are with my thumb, like trained on it yet. But it's still better that I can hit what I want to hit when I hit it. Even if I do have to point directly at the TV with the infrared thing, versus this was pretty good about just knowing where my TV was. But yeah, I just thought I would share that because I just buying a nice new TV and then getting a remote that I despise incredibly. I just thought it would be interesting to like bring that up. And the app thing, like I said, the app was livable, but a lot of times it takes a while for it to connect. That happened a lot. That wasn't like a freak occurrence there. Even when I was in the same room with it, if I would go to other things on my phone, I have to go in and be like, oh man, like I want to go back and quick skip this ad. I have to go into the app, and sometimes the app would just be unresponsive and have to close it and open it again, and then go and like. Sometimes the ad would already be done by then, but other times it'd be like, yeah, I have to go there and wait, and have to wait like an extra like 10, 15 seconds to like close an ad that I should be able to skip, which is just annoying. So this was, this isn't perfect, this isn't ideal, but it's still a million times better than this stupid magic remote. All they had to do with this remote, okay? Get out of here, I don't want you to get caught in the crossfire. All they had to do with this shit was make the OK button separate from the scroll wheel thing. And if you shake it too, it also brings up the pointer too. You can, I think, change the sensitivity or turn that off. But still, like you have to fucking like, I don't know, just make another button for this, right? They weren't like trying to save space with this. Look at the size of this remote. They weren't like cutting down functions or anything. They were pulling like the Samsung thing. We're like, we'll just condense it into this. No, like they were trying to like just make a regular remote. All they had to do was like make OK button here and put the scroll wheel here or anywhere else. Make it the scroll wheel thing not part of this, and then it would have been fine. And the idea would have been neat to have the pointer thing too when I wanted to use it, and just have a regular button to hit to activate the pointer, or even just use that like shaking thing to make the pointer show up, and then have that just be the way you get the pointer up. Have the scroll wheel be a different thing. If you're still going to include the scroll wheel, put it not there, right? Put it off to the side or something. Maybe you can put it on the side of the remote somewhere where you could scroll easily. I don't know, something like that. But this remote design, because they combined those two things with no way to make a different OK button, they really just screwed this remote up. They screwed the pooch. They had sex with the dog on this one. And I don't know. I wanted to yell about it, and I guess that's a good enough idea for a video, huh? Well, why not? If other people can be just a pair of hands yelling at shit on the internet, why can't I?